is up, everybody? Metal Biker Dude coming at you here. My neighbors are driving me absolutely fucking insane. They're doing all kinds of shit upstairs, and this is the life of living in a condo, I guess, but it's driving me fucking nuts. So if you guys hear that coming through, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do about it other than go and beat the hell out of them. And that's the old dirty. We're not going to do that anymore. It's Twitter Tuesday, and the winner was Tim McGraw, Live Like You're Dying. I think that's the name of it. I have it pulled up here, but I haven't opened it up yet. So, and in the contestants, the nominees, if you will, were Zach Brown, Chicken Fried, Miranda Lambert, Vice, Little Big Town Boondocks, which Little Town Boondocks and Zach Brown Chicken Fried were actually way in the lead, and all of a sudden Tim McGraw came in at the end there, so we had a retweet on that. I'm wondering if somebody didn't retweet that and hope that won. So but that's the power of retweeting, right? So the votes picked up a little bit this week on the country, so right on. It's getting better. And I guess that's it. So let's do this. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's driving me fucking nuts, man. It's pissing me off badly because it's been going on for like 2 hours now. So I'm sure, sorry about that. I'm sure that some of you can probably relate to that if you live in an apartment. But normally they're really good neighbors, but they've been doing all kinds. See, these are condos, so if you own the condo, you can pretty much do what you want to it. Well, these guys seem to work on theirs an awful lot. So what I'm going to do is, while this is playing, and I hope I don't forget to hit the slider back, I'm going to go ahead and slide it down so it doesn't bleed through. So I'm hoping this doesn't come through at all, but we're not going to take any chances during the music portion of it. So let's do this. Tim McGraw, Live Like You're Dying.
I spent most of the next days looking at the x-rays, talking about the options and talking about sweet time. I asked him when it sank in that this might really be the real end. How's it hit you when you get that kind of news? Man.
Okay, so I gotta be honest with you. These are some really tasty chords, and that's guitar lingo for it's a different sound. They've done some augmenting and things like that of the chords, and they sound really cool. So right on.
And whatever, and I spoke sweeter, and I gave forgiveness I've been denying. And he said, someday I hope you get the chance to live like you were dying. He said I was finally the husband that most of the time I wasn't, and I became a friend would like to have. And all
When is fishing ever an imposition?
I went skydiving, I went Rocky Mountain climbing, I went 2.7 seconds on a bull named Blue Manchu. And I heard, and I spoke sweeter, and I watched an eagle as it was flying. And he said, someday I hope you get the chance to live like you were dying.
Okay. Um, a couple of things really pop into my head immediately about this. First of all, that seems like a song that would probably translate very well live. Um, and I really appreciate that because um, it was a good song. You know, there's something else that was popping into my head as this was all going on. Um, you know, back in the 80s and 90s, especially, you could have never have gotten me to listen to a ballad. Ballads, and that's saying something because back in the 80s, especially, ballads were at their all time high. Let me digress for a second. And I'm telling you, when I say there's a digression here, I mean I'm digressing in a huge way because this is popping up to you out of nowhere. And I hope I can hold my thought on this song here because this has zero to do with anything. But there's this Verizon commercial. Anyway, I told you it was a huge digression. But there was, and I actually was able to hang on to my thought. I'm sure you were all impressed because Dirty is not notorious for that. But back in the 80s, there was this enormous era of ballads, and I hated all of them with a burning passion. Couldn't stand it. And I don't care what band was doing it. They could have been some of my favorite bands because some of my favorite bands did do them. And oh my goodness, I hated them. Well, the reason I bring that up is because this was a very much of a ballad song. But as I get old and feeble and weak in the knees and brittle boned and all of that stuff, I got my lab results from my blood work from my doctor, and they were not good. Anyway, but I really have a new appreciation for music, and and I can't help it if it's just not my age, but for whatever reason it is, I'm much more receptive to slower music, ballads, and I think a lot of this began during my journey. The infancy of my journey was almost an immediate new awakening to new types of music. And ballads aren't a new type of music, but I'm receptive to them now. Where it used to be that I would never be receptive to a ballad. So there's a band called Great White, and they had some ballads, and I hated them. Warrant, I was never a huge Warrant fan, but there were a few songs that I liked. A song called Uncle Tom's Cabin, but they were notorious for these ballads, and I hated them back then. So yeah, I mean, this is a good song. I'm gonna ding it, ding ding. Right on. So I have to build up my country repertoire playlist because it's the only way I'm going to break the chains, so to speak. So I need to add some songs, and I need them to be songs that I'm okay with listening to. And this is definitely one of them. So, all right, that'll make a dude. Peace.